Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another crypto video. And today we're discussing XRP. There have been a couple of lawyers who have shared their opinion about the Ripple versus SEC case. And of course, as the Ripple versus SEC case is by far the most important factor for the XRP price, you guys need to hear everything about it. But I have a couple of very important additional pieces inside this video that are not related to the lawsuit, but very important for XRP holders. So if you're an XRP holder, let me know down below. And make sure you press that like button just to show some support. Or if you just enjoy the videos as well, make sure you show some support by pressing that little thumbs up. So to first get you guys into the topic, Ripple has been moving a lot of XRP around, and generally speaking, there are tons of huge XRP transfers going around nearly every single day. Ripple shoved 100 million XRP as smart investors start frantically grabbing XRP-oriented products. We obviously have a couple of developments within the XRP community on top of the XRP ledger that are pretty exciting. Two of those can be easily explained. We have the XLS update, so the NFTs coming to the XRP ledger in a couple of days. And we have a bullish on CBDC's new prime minister in the UK. And even though that is not directly bullish for XRP, it is pretty exciting for the XRP ledger and potentially XRP as they're working a lot with CBDC technology, and potential governments. So that could be an interesting link to the UK eventually. There's also another article that was showcasing that 340 million XRP was being moved. And all you need to know about these huge will transfers, if there's money going from a unknown wallet to an exchange, that is officially negative news, because officially that means there's now more selling pressure as money on an exchange is most likely to be sold. However, since these are ODL partners, we don't know if Ripple sent this through one of their wallets to potentially fund the program, so to speak, or if there's something else going on right there. It is hard to say. In theory, right, it could also be one of the ODL partners, or I guess clients, I should say, that are utilizing this feature right now to potentially test things out. It's not necessarily negative, but we're keeping it in the back of our head that these transfers are going on over the last couple of days. And so usually if the price then drops, you can kind of look back and think about it. But since it is an ODL partner, Bitstamp is not the number one exchange I would pick to sell XRP, for example. I'm honestly more inclined to believe that it actually has something to do with the whole testing of ODL. And Ripple sending money out can be used for a ton of different reasons, as is also described in this little story right here. The 100 million were transferred to one of Ripple's reserve wallets, RL18VN. For all the XRP community members that have been around for a little while, you know this wallet by now. And this address is usually utilized for sending XRP to third parties outside of the company, crypto exchanges, banks, financial institutions, and converters to get fiat and cover Ripple's ongoing expenses, or potentially to basically fund the partnership. Now, to move over into this interesting piece about the lawyer, I want to first go on and say, if you're still looking for a place to buy XRP or trade XRP, or really trade any single crypto in any country around the world, check out BitGet. I believe that right now you can even use it in the US to leverage trade XRP or leverage trade anything basically. And basically how it works is a couple more people that sign up right now get $10 for absolutely free. But after that, for the next week or so, any person that makes a deposit gets $20 in XRP from my pockets. So you don't even have to trade. You can just take the 20 out if you want to. But I personally say use trading funds or trading bonuses to basically help you learn how to trade or to try your luck with. I know that might sound kind of crazy, but the reason I'm saying that is because you can get up to $8,000 worth of bonuses. We've described before that $8,000 worth of bonuses can be the equivalent of $500,000 or even more with a 50-50 chance. To describe that better, if you utilize these $8,000, which is a lot, with a lot of leverage, there's a good chance you're going to lose everything. Sure, let's put that up there. But if you use it with, let's say, for example, 50 times leverage, that is $400,000 that you're trading with right now. If the coin that you were trading goes up by just 1%, you've made yourself $4,000. If it goes up by 100%, well, you've just made $400,000. I might have said something wrong in the midst right there, but you guys understand, right? Can you do this with your own money? Sure, but the reason I'm saying use bonuses for this is because that way, if it does end up going south, it's not your money that you're losing. which is why doing a 50x or a 100x trade is more doable, so to speak. So the same thing goes for these smaller $60, $100 rewards. And so I'd personally say, hey, use this to fund your trading journey and take it slowly. But with the higher bonuses, I sometimes think, depending on your current situation, it might be just best to wing it for some crazy potential gains. But again, that's just my thoughts. Check it out with the link down below as you get these bonuses. Link down below, check it out, and I'll see you guys again in 5 seconds. Hey, boom. Oh, wait, that was actually 0 seconds. There we go. Bill has been a very interesting character in the XRP community. He's actually been going out left, right to explain theories about, for example, how it's interesting that the US is using all this security laws from like 70 years ago, which is unfortunate, but hey, that's the way in which things have gone. And having followed the case for almost 2 years, he finds it hard to accept based on the party's arguments, that the court will find XRP itself a security or sales of XRP in the secondary market as sales of a security, but I have not seen evidence yet because it is sealed. You know, a lot of stuff is hidden behind the closed doors. There was a little discussion about state law versus federal law, and Bill had a lot of this to say. I have now had a chance to properly consider the SEC's reply to Ripple's arguments on the need for certain essential ingredients, including a contract, for there to be an investment contract. Makes sense. The SEC goes to some lengths to mischaracterize Ripple's attempt to construe a non-defined statutory term, investment contract, by reference to pre-1933 blue sky law cases, as it's Ripple's own manufactured test. There's a lot of rhetoric using words such as extremist argument, radical proposition, far-fetched theories, reactionary argument, and I find this language to be undergraduate and unnecessary, and a sign of weakness in legal argumentation, but perhaps it is acceptable in the US in making written legal arguments. There are only 2 points the SEC makes that I think are really strong, which is firstly, Ripple may, oh sorry guys, I'm seeing people move and sometimes it's distracting, you know? This person here is doing some dances on the balcony and that's like distracting my eyes a little bit. Fun fact. Firstly, Ripple may have a weakness in confining the term scheme the way it does. The Ripple argument is that transaction or scheme merely conveys that a court should look to a broader context in which the instrument is grounded. The SEC points out that Ripple cites no case that holds this to be the case. And secondly, the SEC points out that Section 5 of the Securities Act prohibits unregistered offers, not just sales, and an offer until accepted, and with consideration is not a contract at common law. And the argument that prohibition of offers would not have been included if Section 5 was only concerned with legally enforceable contracts has some force. Now, apart from those couple of points, I think that the SEC has not really raised a strong argument in response to Ripple on this issue. It would be better if it would be in a better position if it was targeting specific Ripple sales or offers of XRP, and not running this absurdly broad case of targeting all XRP sales or offers for 8 years, including in the secondary markets. Now, obviously, the big boys had something to say about it. So JV came back in and said, that's what I mentioned to JD yesterday. What if the SEC has only taken this broad approach to make sure they don't miss any type of sale that could potentially be unlawful? Wouldn't it allow the court to analyze all sales and not just specific sales? Jeremy Hogan said possibly, but then what you're doing is throwing a bunch of crap at the judge and saying, hey, you go figure it out. And a prosecutor is supposed to figure that out before filing the lawsuit, which is, again, very logical. And John Dean responded saying, the good news for Ripple is that the SEC didn't offer any specific sales with contracts and alleged that although it may be to an accredited investor, it was subterfuge to get to the secondary market. No specific transactions, just all transactions, and I don't see how it sticks. So from that perspective, there's actually some articles written about it. Things are looking pretty good for Ripple in this regard. I believe Belisarius, yes, also thinks that they're actually already in talks for some sort of settlement. Again, a lot of the articles which I've seen right now are sharing mostly the same thing, highlighting this as good news. You got to remember, guys, we officially have a major deadline for the biggest part of the lawsuit somewhere next month, as again, the final replies in the summary judgment phase are being openly deposited, I guess, at that point. And from that perspective as well, a lot of cards have been thrown on the table. Ripple has gotten the William Heeman emails. It's really starting to converge. It's really starting to show signs of it ending soon. And honestly, it feels kind of crazy, the fact that we are ending this all off. But all the while, there's still so much hatred and there's so much FUD, so much uncertainty, so much negativity. There's two pieces I want to quickly share with you guys. Digital Asset Investor shared this. So Matt Levine said, "What is crypto?" with a Bloomberg piece. 388 Bitcoin mentions, 145 Ethereum mentions, 0 XRP mentions. This should be renamed to the Bitcoin Ethereum story. And like Crypto to Crib says, XRP has been under attack from the SEC for a lot of time, but also from a lot of other parts of the crypto community that are not taking it serious. One of those guys is the guy at Ledger, the co-founder. Don't have anything against him. And again, all opinions matter to the degree that if he wants to think that, hey, let him think that. I literally don't concern myself with what other people think about a crypto that I personally like. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter. But it does showcase a little bit of that negativity regarding XRP. And okay, quick little headphone warning, but I think I should end the video off with this little interesting piece just for, to think about, I guess.
Don't follow the mob. Chrysippus says, why would I become a philosopher if I'm just going to be like everyone else, if I'm going to follow the mob? No, I think for myself. It's the hardest thing in the world, to think for yourself. As Mark Twain says, whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, pause and reflect. It's not that they're always wrong, they just sometimes are, and you want to make sure you're deciding this for yourself, not just because everyone else is saying or doing it. So again, the Stoics, they're not contrarians, but they think independently, and so must you. Think about everything for yourself. If the mob is excited about it, if the mob is beating up on someone, if the mob is caught up in a fad or a passion or a trend, that's a good sign that you should step back, think for yourself, and do what's actually right, not just what everyone else is doing.
Should just make you think about the fact that it doesn't really matter what the majority of people believe. It doesn't really matter what all these guys are saying about XRP. Just do your own research. Think about it properly. And well, to my own knowledge, they're looking poised to win this lawsuit. And they have a very good chance at changing the entire financial system. And with advancements like the ones in the UK, they're doing pretty good in the CBDC realm. Well, those things can kind of connect. And they're working with a lot of other cryptos in terms of interoperability to change the financial system. I'm just quite excited about this crypto. If you aren't though, if your friend isn't, even if 99% of the world isn't, why does that matter? We've seen the exact same thing with Shiba Inu. There were only a couple of people who thought, hey, this has some potential to really pop off. Let me put some money into it. And actually, that was the same thing with Bitcoin in the early stages. And look at where they've gone now. The masses will not believe in this new technology or these new things from the get-go because people are by nature risk averse. Most important takeaway is just focus on yourself, kings. Think these things through properly for yourself and then decide if you want to invest or not. If you don't, that's completely fine. Don't think you have to just because people are saying so, because a lot of people are just following other people around. That's why usually I like to focus on the news and kind of give you guys updates as to what has happened fundamental-wise. And again, these updates into an insight into the lawsuit from people that know their parts. And again, you have to get your knowledge from somewhere, so there are some people you gotta believe. But I'm just talking about don't just follow the masses. If people all keep saying, no, it's garbage, it's garbage, it's garbage, don't let that discourage you from actually going for it still. And yeah, I think that was it for right now. See you guys again in another one, and maybe think about it, maybe not. Make sure you press the like button. Adios.